People disappear every day, but what if someone disappeared while standing right in front of you? This is the story of the neighbor I should have never waved at, the neighbor who never blinked. I moved into a quiet neighborhood at the edge of town, a place where the houses looked washed out, like the color had been drained from them. On my first night, as I closed the blinds, I saw him, a man, standing in the window of the house directly opposite mine. He wasn't moving, just staring directly at me. I waved awkwardly, no response, not even a blink. I thought maybe he was just weird. Every neighborhood has one of those. But by the second night, he was still there. Same window, same pose, same dead, glassy eyes. I tried to convince myself he wasn't staring at me, but every time I shifted, his eyes somehow aligned with mine again, like he was adjusting without moving. On the third night, a loud knock woke me up at 2:47 a.m. When I opened the door, no one was there, but across the street, his window was open now, curtains blowing, and he was gone, the first time he had moved in 3 days. I didn't sleep that night. In the morning, I walked across the street to ask about him. A woman answered, middle-aged, exhausted, eyes swollen like she hadn't slept in days. "You're a neighbor," I said. "The man who stands in the window." Her face drained instantly of color. "He's not supposed to be there." Her voice cracked as she whispered, "He's been dead for 7 months." She slammed the door before I could ask another question. That night, I avoided looking out the window, but at exactly 2:47 a.m., my phone buzzed, a notification, motion detected, living room. My blood ran cold. I lived alone. I opened the camera feed and froze. He was inside my house, standing in the corner of the room, motionless, facing the camera, still not blinking. I ran into the living room, heart pounding, but the room was empty, cold, silent. The footage rewound itself automatically, and on the replay, he slowly turned his head toward the camera, processing me, studying me. I unplugged the camera. The next morning, the woman from across the street knocked on my door. She looked frantic, trembling. "You saw him, didn't you?" I nodded, unable to speak. Her voice dropped to a terrified whisper. "My son died staring at something. They found him with his left eyes wide open, while his right eye and tongue was ripped out, but he held on to his diary firmly." She clutched my arm. "Whatever you do, don't let him see you blink." Her warning struck me as insane, but later that night, I understood. At 2:47 a.m., like clockwork, my bedroom lights flickered off, and when they came back on, he was standing at the foot of my bed, closer than ever, face pale, skin thin and stretched tight, and those eyes, unblinking, reflecting the room like two wet stones. I held my breath. My eyes started to burn. Tears gathered. He tilted his head, as if curious. I blinked. Instantly, he was inches from my face. Cold air hit my cheeks. His mouth opened, wider, wider, too wide for any human jaw, and from the darkness of his throat came a sound, a low whisper. "Don't look away." I finally understood. He wasn't staring at me. He was waiting, for weakness, for a blink, for permission. When I opened my eyes again, he was gone, but something felt wrong. My reflection in the mirror wasn't blinking. It stared back at me, frozen, eyes burning, refusing to move. I raised my hand. It didn't. My reflection smiled, slowly, unnaturally. I'm no longer sure if I'm the one writing this, or if that thing is pretending to be me. If you ever see someone staring at you through a window at night, don't wave, don't blink, don't acknowledge it, because once it sees you, it never stops watching. Some neighbors you don't survive meeting. A week later, the police found Freddie dead in his room with his eyes and tongue ripped off. The investigation team found a journal behind his desk where he wrote his encounter with whoever that thing was. Till date, the police haven't solved this case. There is a sound I've been hearing for weeks now. A sound no microphone can record. A sound that only plays when I'm completely alone. And the worst part? It knows my name. This is the story of the voice that was never recorded, but somehow was waiting for me anyway. I work as an audio cleaner. People send me corrupted recordings, static-filled interviews, broken voicemail messages, damaged tapes. My job is simple. Remove the noise, isolate the voice, restore what was lost. One night I received an anonymous package. No return address. Inside was an old cassette tape. No label, no note. Just one word scratched into the plastic with something sharp. Play. Curiosity 1. I loaded the tape into my player. At first, nothing. Just low static. Then, breathing. Slow. Unsteady. And beneath it, something that sounded like whispering, but backward. I ran the tape through my software, reversed the audio. That's when the whisper became clear. It was my voice, not similar, not close, exact. Same cadence, same breathing pattern, same hesitation between words. And it was saying, "Please don't clean this." My stomach dropped. I had never recorded that sentence. Not anywhere, not ever. I checked the tape's timestamp. The recording date was set for 3 days in the future. That night, I couldn't sleep. At 2:13 a.m., my computer powered on by itself. The audio software opened. A new track appeared in the project folder. Track 002, Udo Rec. I didn't press record. The waveform slowly formed on the screen, as if something in my room was being captured. I listened. At first, silence. Then a faint sound behind me. My chair creaking, my breathing. And then, a whisper right beside the microphone. Too late. I ripped the room apart, checked every device, every mic, every input. Nothing was plugged in. Yet the recording continued for 6 full minutes. The last 30 seconds were the worst, because the voice started describing my apartment. The door behind you, the light flickering, the shadow near the ceiling. I slowly looked up. Nothing was there, but the recording ended with a sound I'll never forget. Fingernail dragging across plastic. I searched the tape deeper. Hidden beneath the main track were dozens of corrupted layers. Each one contained a different voice. Men, women, children, all whispering the same phrase. I heard myself first. I Googled it. Nothing. Then I searched missing persons reports. That's when I noticed something horrifying. Every single voice on the tape belonged to someone who vanished within 72 hours of hearing their own voice recorded. At the end of the cassette, buried under static, was a final message. A rule, spoken calmly, clearly. If you hear yourself, it means something else is learning how to sound human. I unplugged everything, destroyed the tape, snapped it in half, burned it. But sound doesn't need permission to exist. Yesterday morning, I woke up to an email from my own address. Subject line, final version. Attached was a clean, perfect audio file. No static, no distortion, just my voice. Crying, begging, screaming for help. Time-stamped 6 hours from now. I haven't listened to the end yet because I can hear something behind me breathing. And it's waiting for me to finish recording. If you ever hear your own voice when you know you didn't record it, don't try to delete it. Don't try to clean it, because once it learns how you sound, it won't need you anymore. If you live in a building with an elevator, there's a rule nobody tells you. If the elevator goes past the lowest floor, don't get out, because some floors were never meant to exist. And once you step onto them, the building remembers you. I moved into a 14-floor apartment complex downtown. Old building, bad lighting, always smelled faintly of dust and rust. The landlord was eager, too eager. He rushed me through the paperwork, never made eye contact. As I was leaving, he stopped me. "One thing," he said quietly, "if the elevator ever skips, take the stairs." I laughed it off. That was my first mistake. 3 weeks later, I was coming home late. 2:06 a.m. The elevator was already open, waiting. That should have been a sign. I pressed 14. The doors closed. Floor numbers ticked by. 5, 6, 7. Then the lights flickered. The display glitched, and the elevator passed B1. It didn't stop. The number changed to something I'd never seen before. The elevator slowed. My ears popped. The doors opened. The hallway looked like my building, but stretched. Longer. Too narrow. The walls were damp, like they were breathing. Every apartment door was slightly open. From inside, I could hear people whispering, not words, names, my name. I stepped back into the elevator. The doors didn't close. A hand appeared between them, pale, thin, too many fingers. A voice whispered, "You already live here." The hallway lights turned on one by one. People stood in the doorways. They looked normal, until I noticed their eyes. They were sunken, empty, like they hadn't slept in years. One woman smiled. "I was on the 9th floor," she said. "I just missed my stop." A man laughed softly. "I pressed 3. It took me here." They all looked at me at once. "You're new." The elevator doors slammed shut behind me. The lights above flickered again. The walls began to shift. The hallway bent downward, like the inside of a throat. A voice came from everywhere. "The building grows. It needs people who fall. Every skipped floor adds a room." I realized something then. No one here was taken. They were misplaced. I ran. The hallway stretched endlessly. Doors slammed shut as I passed. Hands reached out from the walls, grabbing, pulling. I finally saw the elevator again. Doors open. I dove inside, pressed 14 repeatedly. The doors closed. The display flickered. 1B, 1123. I screamed in relief until the elevator stopped between floors. The lights went out, and the speaker crackled to life. A calm voice spoke. "Tenants who reach the wrong floor cannot fully leave. You may visit the upper levels, but eventually, the elevator jolted. You will miss a stop." The doors opened. I was back on my floor. My apartment looked normal, but my reflection in the hallway mirror lagged behind me. And when I pressed the elevator button again, it lit up by itself. If you live in a building and the elevator doors open on a floor you don't recognize, don't step out, because the building doesn't trap people. It reassigns them, and someday you'll belong downstairs.